Hey, how you doing? I am Gio. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode 5 of is it season 1? Is there gonna be more seasons? I think it is. Episode 5 of season 1 of Andor. The title is The Ox Forgets, and that is as cryptic a title as I have ever heard. The Ox Forgets. I guess we'll find out, maybe, possibly not, probably not. I don't know. Anyway, so last episode the story is ticking along nicely, right? We found out that Andor is he's been rescued. He got recruited from Ferrex to help with a robbery. It's a robbery. It's a bankroll payroll robbery, right? They're robbing the payroll from the Imperial galaxy, I guess. This sector, the pay is all kept in this place in Andor, and a group of ragtag looking people are going to rob it. 6 of them are going against a garrison of Imperials. And Andor is like, are you fucking mental? And they're like, quite possibly we are mental. And it seems to be, rather than do any real damage, it seems to be disruption, right? It's gotta be disruption, and it's something we never think about, right? You didn't think about stormtroopers going home and, getting paid, getting their wages, and going to get a family out to eat, or buying movies, or stuff like that, going home decorating a house, putting a Christmas tree up. Never think about it, right? And it's a nice, I mean, it's like bringing these stories to life, right? The Imperial forces are not doing it for loyalty, but they're not doing it with a gun to the head either. Well, they kind of are, a little bit. But mainly they're doing it because it's a fucking job, right? The Imperial Galaxy is probably the biggest employer, probably, right? They probably are the biggest employer out there. And if you want a job, you want a career, that's where you're looking at. Because I bet you they pay a lot more than the rebels do. Unless you're like top level rebels, and they seem to be doing okay, right? The top of the line rebels seem to be doing fine. But it's just the way of it. Every cause is what it is. The leaders are always doing okay out of it. But that's fine. That's life. So I think that was it last episode, right? We've seen Karn, the little Boy Scout sort of wannabe Imperial, who was basically a jumped up security officer. He has been fired, it looks like, and he's been sent home, right? So I wonder if what's going to be the end of his story, right? Like 4 episodes in, and that's his story done. He was look like being a major antagonist. In No, it looks like it's hard to see a route for him back into prominence. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The whole last episode was basically um nearly entirely Andor meeting the robbery team and them being distrustful of him, as you would be, right? As you would be, of course. You're doing this thing in like 2 days' time, and your boss comes along and says, and by the way, hell of a dangerous mission, right? That's robbery, hell of a dangerous, and your boss comes along and says, here's a new guy, right? So I guess it was Andor trying to gain their trust, but not really because he doesn't see why he should have to. I suppose, yeah, I suppose the Ox forgets though. So this is episode 5, the Ox forgets. Sit upright.
Is that how you've been presenting
Kim, mate,
yourself
it's
to
just a
the
job.
world? Well, we're
Get over it.
enjoying a great deal.
Oh look, Lucky Charms ish.
You might as well wear a sign that says, I promise to disappoint you. Shame we couldn't have seen more of each other when you were flourishing. I have
Jesus.
a memory to sustain me.
I'm actually feeling sorry for a guy at this point.
Any civilized being knows an open invitation is no invitation at all. My assumption is you have no prospects for the future.
I had a spare room. Could have visited anytime you wanted. You know that.
I know what to tell me. I intuit the rest. I intuit you have no future prospects. I'm calling Uncle Harlow. I'm calling in the family favor.
Haven't heard that in a while.
Genuinely,
These are desperate
I'm
times.
feeling
You're
for him.
assuming he'll remember
I'm
you.
feeling so sorry for
That's
him because of.
amusing.
And you think he'll talk to you?
I know he will.
It's all there. Bill asked me to have a look.
So he thought he'd been robbed.
You didn't come with much.
He thought he'd been robbed, but the guy
That
was.
plus the bad arms.
cleaning his
Yeah, you left
weapons.
Wherever you were in a hurry. Corporate issue. Interesting. There's no sense being upset. You're lucky to be alive right now. You've been down here for months and the stakes are high. And whose is this?
Didn't get a name.
That's a good answer. That is a good answer.
They built a lot of cages, huh? The axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
The ox forgets, but the tree remembers. There we go. That's the line. The ox forgets, but the tree remembers means the ox cuts down so many trees. Every tree is it's just a tree, but the tree remembers in that it's the only ox the tree has met. Right? It's special to the tree because it's the ox that killed it.
I'm here to win and walk away.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah. Win and walk away.
Tray milk. You can live on it. You may question your existence after a few days. But...
Memorable, isn't it?
That's an old one.
Old and true and sturdy.
One of the best navigational tools ever built.
Can't be jammed or intercepted. Something breaks, you can fix it yourself.
Hard to learn.
Yes, but once you've mastered it, you're free. The pace of repression outstrips our ability to understand it, and that is the real trick of the Imperial thought machine. It's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident. But they have a fight on their hands, don't they?
He's listening.
Busy day, Clem. Finish your milk.
Finished. Done.
You don't trust him?
I barely trust you.
That's wise. It keeps you alive, right? It really does.
You're a sentry from the Alkenzi airbase transferred for special duty. Shoulders back. More.
Don't touch me.
It's about confidence. We belong here. We're following orders. The door's being opened as we approach. Lieutenant Gorn will be out front. He's the leader. He's the gatekeeper. So eyes on him at all times. Squad, hope. Let's walk it again at speed.
You should switch.
What?
He's left-handed. Should swap sides.
Why don't you get a handle on what we're doing here before you start making suggestions?
Why?
Hmm.
Why switch sides?
Skin is left-handed. You want your weapon on the outside.
What am I?
Right-handed.
Taramin?
Right.
Cinta?
Right.
Nemec?
Favors right, but shoots left.
Well, that's some observant shit, eh? Look at you.
Corporal Kimsey,
Sir.
enjoying the view?
Yes, sir.
Get about your business, Corporal. I'll be making rounds tomorrow night, and I expect you at your station.
Sir, yes, sir.
Hello.
Narvai.
Again.
Narvai.
Stop.
Are them two,
Nich.
does he like her?
Make a soldier of you yet?
So who's not coming back? That's the question, right? In these circumstances, who is not coming back? Because I think it's got to be a success, but they're not all going to make it.
Tell you how wrong you were about Uncle Harlow.
But you will.
He said he never felt police work was your chosen path.
Because he knows me so well.
And whose fault is that?
Can I guess?
Perhaps you'll study Uncle Harlow with more energy in the future.
What field is it he thinks I should be pursuing?
He said he wanted to think about it.
Sex worker.
I struggled with how best to describe to him the events that have led us here.
What's an Imperial lieutenant doing, getting involved with this?
What difference does it make?
Massive
Everyone else
difference.
seems to know.
Huge difference.
He fell in love with a local woman, lost a promotion. Then he lost the woman. Then he lost his taste for the Empire.
Really? Because of a woman. So because he got dumped, or I'm assuming, he's all of a sudden went rebel.
Sir, I prepared a reduced schedule for tomorrow. I know you were eager for that.
I mean a great deal to the men.
And now, I see the gantry still unpainted.
I've spoken to them about it, sir.
And yet it remains undone.
May I speak plainly, sir?
No.
Plainly and quickly.
Aldani, sir. It's not many people's first choice assignment. The thing you hear when posted to Aldani is that perhaps you'll be lucky enough to be there for the eye.
The idea of being this close and not seeing it. And I know we can't all be up there, but I fear morale might be crushed by having anything more than an essential roster down here tomorrow night.
Don't move. Because you know what'll happen.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sky Kyber. He's been hiding it.
Skeen,
Sky Kyber, look at it glow.
What's going on?
I warned you.
He comes in with nothing but the clothes on his back and a stone worth 30,000 credits.
If you have a problem, you come to me.
Here I am. I've topped out on Questionsville. I have reached my limits. I need to know who I'm riding.
Yeah, he
You
does need
exactly
to know.
who I am.
He needs to know. He's right to question it.
I'm being paid.
Oh, okay. Here comes honesty, right? Honesty.
I'm here for the money. You can't live with that? I'm not worth it? I'll walk away and wish you luck.
You knew this.
The choice was take him or call it off.
Call it off.
You should have told us days ago.
The day before is always hard. Too much time to worry.
You think we're scared?
I know you are.
Yeah.
It's really only the money.
To take a risk like this?
You'd be silly not to be scared at this point, right?
You're the one that's afraid.
Of course he
Of course
is.
I'm afraid.
I wonder what Uncle Harlow actually does then. Ooh. Is he burning up with anger? You stole my career. No, mate, he didn't. You screwed up. You fucked it.
Okay, that should do it. Skeen,
She wants me to tell you about my brother.
Oh, this is
It was
why
long
Skeen's
ago,
here.
but what matters is they killed him. He was a farmer. That's as close to an apology as you're gonna get.
Revenge.
It's close enough.
I need to hear you tell me you can follow the plan.
You won't have a problem with me.
Is that a yes? Or what's you waiting for? News? News of the raid?
Or will it just be starting?
For that?
So it was the tree remembers what the ox forgets, right? It means, as far as I can tell, it means that imagine an ox chopping down trees. An ox chops down many trees, but a tree only gets chopped down once, right? So to the tree, the ox is unique. So the tree remembers, but to the ox, the tree is one of many. That's what it does. Just chop, 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 chop. It's just a number, a tree. So the ox forgets the tree. Ox doesn't remember the tree. So there's been so many of them, right? I guess this episode again was just gearing up for the robbery, right? You've seen everyone's doubts and anxieties. In you see Skeen questioning Andor about the chain. Why have you got a chain? It's a lot of money. Why have you got it here? You came here with nothing. You've got a chain on your neck. It's worth a lot. What's going on? And Andor decides to be honest with him. Says, look, I'm being brought as a mercenary. I'm a mercenary. I'm getting paid, which is a reasonable explanation. But I suspect that all of them are there for, I guess, they think noble reasons, right? Revenge, hatred of the Empire, all the rest of it, which I guess Andor has as well. But the bottom line is he's been recruited. He's getting paid for it. And he says to Skeen that if it wasn't this, it would be someone else, right? You'd find someone else. You'd find someone else to focus on, because this is what happens in places of high stress. You look for ways out. You look for reasons not to, right? You're looking for some reason not to go with the plan. And that was, yeah, and I think he gained the respect with that, with speaking his mind, with being honest, even though it was a surprise to them. I guess he's got to prove himself though, right? On the job, he's got to prove himself. On the job, not everyone's come back, right? And the fact that they call the kid a true believer, I think he is got to be, I'd imagine, right? I'd imagine the kid is not coming back. He's got to die in Andor's arms, poetically. Then the other side of the story, we see Karn, is it? And you can see why Karn is an insufferable dickhead. Because his mother is an insufferable dickhead. Like, he loses his job and his mother's like, I'm going to phone Uncle Harlow and we'll get you a job because you're such a fucking failure. And he's like, okay, Mom. Like, why did he go home to her though, right? Why go back to her? Surely the man had other options than to go back to his mother's house. Because honestly, a woman like that, that's the last place I'd go, right? Last place I'd go, winning him back. But he's been conditioned, I guess, as the way she is, and he just accepts it and takes a deep breath and endures, right? And I guess Uncle Harlow's got to be somebody with connections, and he's got to get him a job at something else. Probably Imperial based, right? It's where I come good. And that's about it, right? And then we see Rail. We saw him at the end, nervous, pottering about, checking all the time. And I guess next episode must be the robbery, right? Next episode's got to be the robbery, I think. You can't delay it any longer. You can't piss about any longer. So I was short and sweet. Look forward to the next episode. The robbery. I'd imagine it's got to be a success, but not as much of a success as they think it's got to be, right? I'd imagine they're going to lose one or two, right? But tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Leave a like if you like your video. And I'll see you for episode 6 soon.